When I was a boy, dude, I had this toy hot air balloon. And some of you might actually remember these. Like these were from the early 90s, maybe even 80s. They're the coolest toy, right? So it was a hot air balloon, had this really bright red, green, yellow, blue, balloon on the top. And then it was connected by the little basket. And sitting in that basket was this tiny Kermit the Frog, right? Super green. It it was a cool toy, but my favorite part, it wasn't the colors, right? The colors, kids love colors, but what made it magical for me was this little red button that was on the side, and when you pushed it, man, it would play the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I love that song. And you know where that song comes from? It comes from Wizard of Oz, total classic. But what I didn't understand as a kid, and what I've come to understand now, is that the Wizard of Oz, it wasn't just a children's fantasy. No, if you look closely at it, it was packed with raw, universal life lessons that are just so important. Life lessons about fear, about searching for things you think you don't have, or discovering the strength that you've been looking for, and you realize it wasn't just out there. No, man, like you had a path all the way along in front of you that gives you all that you needed. That little toy balloon, that song, boy, I didn't know it then, but it was pointing me towards something I'd spent decades trying to understand. And here's the thing, right? Like I'm getting older, and the older that I get, the more I've noticed that my focus has shifted, and it's not about just me anymore. No, my world has really narrowed down to my relationships, my spouse, my family, my friends, and more than anything else right now, my kids. You'll see that all of you parents out there, like when you become a parent, something changes in you. And it's hard to explain, but it's real. Like you watch your children grow, something in your DNA really just flips. And suddenly you're not just living your own life. No, you're feeling theirs. And you start to see them hit those first moments of doubt. And you see these questions written on their face that like they don't even have words for. That's what's crazy, right? And they're saying things, am I enough? Am I actually loved? Does anyone care if I'm here? Man, as a father, like, dude, that's what hits you. That's what hurts your heart when your children are saying these things and thinking these things. And like, I just want to fix it, right? I want to be a shield, a protector to like stand between them and every mean word, every disappointment, every little heartbreak. Like, I have a couple girls, like, mm-mm. And I know what it's like. Like, well, many of us know what it's like to lay awake at like 3 a.m. in the morning with your heart just racing, and you were playing that one conversation, right? That one mistake, wondering if you made it worse. I don't I don't want them. I don't want my babies. I don't want them to carry that. I want to pave the road so smooth that they never even have to stumble. Here's the thing. That Wizard of Oz comes back in, and it changed how I think about this entirely now. That yellow brick road, right? Think about Dorothy for a minute. Okay? She doesn't get teleported straight to the Oz. No, she lands, and she isn't just handed the answer. She has to walk the yellow brick road. And on that road, what happens, man? She faces like the dark forest. She gets chased. She's nearly, burned alive in a field of poppies. The road is hard, right? That's what happens in our own lives. Like it's supposed to be
You
hard.
believe in
And
spooks?
here's
No. Why on
here's what
earth?
I've had to accept as a father, right? And it's that I can't just walk the road for my children. No, they have to do the work for
Oh,
themselves,
are you all right?
or
You believe in
they will never become who they need to be. And I tell you, that's hard because I think protection sometimes is love, right? But if I take away their struggle, I take away their strength. The very thing that I'm trying to shield them from is the thing that would make them capable. And in that movie, at the very end, Dorothy, she discovers she had the power to go home the whole time. Man, can you imagine how she felt, right? She turns to Galinda, and the good witch says, hey, why didn't you tell me at the very beginning? Why'd I have to go through all of this? And you knew all along that I had it. There's just these slippers, right? And then Galinda answers, and it just hits home. This is what she said.
Oh, will you help me? Can you help me? You don't need to be helped any longer. You've always had the power to go back to Kansas. I have.
Then why didn't you tell her before?
Because she wouldn't have believed me. She had to learn it for herself.
What have you learned, Dorothy?
Well, I think that it wasn't enough just to want to see Uncle Henry and Auntie Em. And it's that if I ever go looking for my heart's desire again, I won't look any further than my own backyard. Because if it isn't there, I never really lost it to begin with. Is that right? That's all it is.
But that's so easy. I should have thought of it. Boy, I should have felt it in my heart.
No, she had to find it out for herself. Now those magic slippers will take you home in 2 seconds.
Because you wouldn't have believed me. You had to learn it for yourself. Man. That line wrecked me when I finally sat with it as a father. Because like I told you, my instinct every day is just to tell them, to hand my children the answer, to save them from the steps. But those steps, those are the lesson. The road, that is the point. Now, here's where I have to get honest with you. Because I've been down my own road, and I haven't always walked well. I've tried many of the things that the world tells you will fix the pain, and I want to share what I found. Because some of you are trying the same things right now, okay? Number one, I chase money. And look, money is a real tool. It gives you a roof, a car, security, entertainment. I'm not dismissing it. But what money can not do is pay for what matters most. In fact, let me give you an example. No amount of money can undo harm that I've caused with my words. Right? I can't write a check for $50,000 and hand it to somebody and get my, be 25 again. No. And there's no price to buy more time with my kids. They just keep growing. There's no credit card I can swipe that says stop. They grow year after year. So yes, money's a tool, but it's a hollow god. And then the second thing, there's that scroll. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You go on Instagram, YouTube, and there's this endless loop where you sit down for a minute and then suddenly a whole hour has gone by. And I tell myself like, oh, I'm staying informed, staying connected. But most of the time, it's just a mask, man, that I'm wearing. It fills the silence, but it doesn't fill the emptiness inside of you. It's really a distraction that's dressed up as a solution. I've chased other things too, though. Comfort, control, approval. And every time I found the same thing. Temporary relief and that same hollow feeling underneath. But here's what I've also found. After all my searching, through all the ups, through all the downs, through all the trauma, and through all the things that I wish I could take back, I found something that actually holds. There is one source that actually gives me hope when I'm facing my own demons. One source that gives me the strength to make right things that I've made wrong. There's one source that never runs dry. And if you read the Bible, Joshua of old declared, "My God is my source." And he sent his son to come and save me. Not just in some abstract, distant way, but in the most personal, ground level way imaginable. And in those moments when I have been most broken, most lost, most convinced that I was too far gone, that is exactly where I have felt it most. Now, I do want to be careful here, especially if you're younger and you're listening. I'm not telling you this so that you can live off of my faith. That's not how this works, okay? My testimony is mine, and it came from my road, my dark forests, my moments of feeling that burning alive in the poppies. Nephi says it clearly in 2 Nephi 25:26. We talk of Christ. We rejoice in Christ. And we preach of Christ, that our children may know to what source they may look. That's the whole purpose. It's not to hand you a finished answer, but it's to point you toward the answer that lives, so that when you go looking, you know where to look. So here's where I land. I can't walk you down the yellow brick road. I can't walk it for my children. I can't walk it for you. And I mean, honestly, I don't think you'd want me to, right? Because even if I could, it wouldn't be yours. But what I can do is stand here and tell you the road is worth walking. The hard parts aren't punishment. They're just preparation. And when you're out there, when it's dark and you're tired and you feel like you've been walking for a long time without getting anywhere, you don't have to figure out the source from scratch. I'm telling you right now, so you'll know where to look. So go find out who you are. Go walk your road. The rest of us will be here witnessing to you that source is real.
Shalom.
Me?
Yes.
Shalom.
I have a question for you.
For me. I don't have many answers, but I'm listening.
Do you want to be healed?
Who are you?
We'll get to that later. But my question remains.
Will you take me to the water? Look, I'm having a really bad day.
You've been having a bad day for a long time. So?
Sir, I have no one to help me into the water when it's stirred up. And when I do get close, the others step down in front of me. And so...
Look at me. Look at me. That's not what I asked. I'm not asking you about who's helping you, or who's not helping, or who's getting in your way. I'm asking about you.
I've tried.
For a long time, I know. And you don't don't want false hope again, I understand. But this pool, it has nothing for you. It means nothing. And you know it. But you're still here. Why?
I don't know.
You don't need this pool. You only need me. So, do you want to be healed?